As a young woman, I have learned that planning your year without God, self-alignment only leads to burnout. So today I want to show you how I planned my year that has brought me structure so far, peace, and so far a reasonable amount of growth that I have seen. Okay, now this has not been the pattern I have been using in my entire life, and I just thought to change, to do something else differently this year. And so far this is just January, and so far, you guys, I have been structured, I have been orderly, and most importantly I have been at peace with myself. Okay, hey loves, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Peculiar, and if this is the first time you are seeing me, hi, thank you so much for stopping by. And if it's not your first time or seeing me, hello, you're the real OG on this channel. I just tried to give you a hug. Thank you so much for coming back again. Honestly, I want to really say this. I see all of you. I see all of the likes. I see all of the comments, even the sharing in my DMs. They are just so overwhelming. And I really want to say thank you to everyone who is supporting me out there. Everyone who is like, it's not really just so easy to see someone who is willing to support you, putting in energies and all of that. But I'm really here to say thank you so much to whoever and everyone that has been, helping me so far in my journey. So thank you so much for coming back again. Okay, now in today's video, I'm going to be carrying you guys through processes. I want to show you guys how, or a different way of planning your year. Okay, now I saw this in Seriously Do's video, and I'm like, this is actually very important. And I have heard of 3 other persons who spoke about this method of planning your, and I'm like, I have to talk about it. It means this thing actually works. And right from when I saw the video on Seriously Do's channel,
God have
Seriously
mercy
Do's
upon us.
channel, or Seriously Do with this space, yes. How am I saying? Oh God, have mercy. On Seriously Do with this space, since I saw the video on her channel, and right from there I knew that, yeah, I really want to share this with you guys. Okay, so you guys can implement this in your day-to-day life, and it would probably help you. It will help you achieve more. It will help you. Your goals look like they are small, whereas they're not small. But then, if you look at it in a broader light, they really help you, go in depth to achieve more things. Now, this is basically dividing your goals into 3 forms. Now we have the spirit, soul, and body. Yes, yes. I believe I want to start from the spirit, because a lot of us, we just plan our year. We're like, oh yes, this year I want to have 100k on YouTube. Oh, this year I want to have XYZ amount of money in my account. This year I want to get married. But we forget spiritual goals, and probably sometimes we say, this year I want to pray more. That's not a goal. Yeah, that's not a goal actually. So dividing your goals into spirit, soul, and body basically help you to look at your life in general. Now you could do more than all of these things, but just calm down and let me just finish breaking them down. Okay, so this method will basically help you not to just write random goals. Okay, random goals like, I want to build my relationship with God, and that's it. So now let's start with the spirit. If you're on this channel, we are all about God on this channel. Where, yes, we do all of the other things. We do beauty, we do hair, we do makeup, we do lifestyle, yeah. But I'm a believer, and I believe you guys are. Okay, so we are going to be growing in our relationship with God in 2026. So now, building a relationship with God. Now, do not just say, I want to pray more this year. Ask yourself, how can I pray more? Like, oh, what do I want to do more in spirit? I want to build my work with God. And your goals need to be specific, measurable, realistic, attainable, and time bound. Okay, now anything you put under this goal of spirit, you should ask yourself, how do I achieve this? Is this a specific goal? Is it realistic? When do I need to accomplish this? So if you're saying spiritual goal, studying God's word more often, consistently. So you could probably say, oh yeah, I want to start my day with, prayers. For me, that's what I did. Okay, I want to start my day with, prayers, and I set out time from 4 to 5. That is basically studying God's word for me. 4 to 5 every day in the morning, before everybody gets up in the morning. The second one I have here is listening to sermons and messages. Now there is something about renewing your mind. So instead of you to just sit down and allow your thoughts to just be wandering here and wandering there, you come back here, what do I eat this afternoon? You come back there, where do I go to this night? I have to know. You just give your head the thought of, oh, at this particular hour of my life, I should be listening to this message. Okay, you could say I want to improve on my relationship with God. So first off, we have your walk with God, personal study of God's word. Then second, we have listening to messages. Now for me, I incorporated this as well. While I'm cooking, I'm listening to my pastor's message. While I'm washing my clothes, I'm listening to my pastor's message. While I'm cleaning, I'm listening to my pastor's message. And while I'm working, I'm either listening to a book or I'm listening to a podcast, but something just has to fill that gap of when I'm busy doing something. Okay, so that's how that's my other aspect of spiritual growth. You could also add like, oh, this period of time I want to be intentional about going to church. If you're the kind of person that usually don't go to church often, like me, I want to go more on go to church more. I want to attend Bible studies. I want to attend prayer meetings. Okay, so you can just make plans of this. Like, okay, when is my Bible study? Thursday. When is my prayer meeting? Wednesday. So it means Wednesday, Thursday, I need to be in church. Okay. The next thing that could fall under spiritual goals could be having quiet time for prayers and quiet time for reflection. Okay. Now you should have. There is no Christianity, or I would not say a Christian life that is not a prayer life. I don't know what you are doing. So as a Christian, you should have a prayer life. So now you could have time for prayers. So for me, I basically do 4 to 5 to study God's word, then 5 to 6, like from 4 down to 6 a.m. Like it's usually like my quiet time with the Lord. I worship, I pray. Okay, I don't just read my Bible. I worship, I pray. Sometimes it even stretches into 7 a.m. and from 7 a.m. I join prayers, and I'm an NSPPD, so from 7 a.m. I join prayers till like 8. So waking up by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like those periods are just like my time with God. Okay, so you study God's word in this period. You wake up, you worship God, you pray, and then you could have at night also. Sometimes I do that, but I always forget. But this is what I want to incorporate into my life this period of time. I want to be more intentional about reflecting on your word I read in the morning. Okay, so that basically keeps you as a believer so grounded in God's word. Okay, so you might have like every other time in your life you're busy, you go to the market, you go to the gym, and you forget to even reflect on God's word. Or you could have stuff on your phone, you just put up reminders on your phone, or go back and reflect on what you read today in God's word, like pick something out of it. And this is the one that I am trying to build, and so far I have seen progress because I have this on my screen where I just really put scriptures personally speaking to me on my life. Okay, so this one I try to improve on it better. So since this year started, my relationship with God, I kid you not, has been top notch. I have not been so active on YouTube. As a matter of fact, this is the first video. Yesterday was the first time I was recording since 2026 started. Yesterday being 20th or 21st of 20th of January. So but other aspect of my life has been going on. Okay, and the next thing I wrote down here is your soul. Okay, this is basically things you do that prospers your life, that prospers your body, that prospers you as a person. So for me, it is reading books every month. So I have this amount of book that I have to read in January, in February, and March. One thing I also wrote down here for reading is basically having an online app that I could use to incorporate this in my life. So back in 2024, I was doing this. 2024, I think I read like about 15 books or so, if not more than that. And this technique basically helped me because I was using audio books, so audio libraries to read this book. So I basically have my earpiece on my ear, and most times when I'm busy, I'm writing, or I'm walking, I'm not writing, I'm walking, I'm just doing one thing or the other. It's either I'm listening to God's word, or I'm listening to a book, or I'm listening to podcasts. So basically, soul is just having things that prospers your mind, prospers, nourishes your soul, and just builds you in general as a human being. Okay, so you could have listening to books or reading books, have the amount of books that you should read in that month. For me, it is 2 in January. I have not finished them, but I know it's something I could sit down in 1 week and I know, I'm done with this particular. Making sure that every day in your life you have something that is added to your knowledge. You hear something different. Okay, so for me, I'm working on my mindset, just doing things that basically just prospers my mind, my soul, how I think, how I interact with people. I make sure, I'm a YouTuber, I sleep on YouTube. Yes, it's that bad because I have videos I listen to almost all the time. So this might not be messages, but I listen to podcasts. Just what are the things that are going to help you in this aspect of your journey. Now I started listening recently to Mary Bliss, Moses Bliss wife's podcast. But one thing I observed from her podcast was how soft she is, how feminine, how she just carries herself. She just speaks so calmly, so intentional, and then it just comes out. And that is what I have been watching. So I've been listening to her, but I've been trying to, embody how she just talks, how she talks on camera, just having that, just listening to something that calm and soothing, does something in your head, does something in your mind, just helps you, to just, speak in a particular shape and way or way. For me, building a particular mindset which I desire, an elegant woman, listening to videos about that, learning about being a sophisticated lady, learning how to be poised, learning how to be a high value woman, learning, just disciplining myself, to be this kind of person that I want to be. That is for me. So another part of soul investment could be investing in friendship. Where like, I'm intentional about friendships. I want to get this person in my life. How do I start meeting this person? So you could also pray about it. Learning about relationships, investing in your personal relationship. Now if you have a spouse, you could say, every day this is how I want to attend to my spouse, this is how I want to serve him food, this is how I want to welcome him whenever he comes back. Just do you, in terms of relationships. It also boils down to you building yourself in the way you want to be seen, or the way you want to be addressed. Just like how I spoke about Moses Bliss wife, how she speaks so softly. That's something for me. Now yours could be, I want to improve on my vocabulary. I want to learn more English words. I want to be intentional about how I speak. I want to be intentional about the thoughts I think. So just all these things that just prospers your soul, just fixing them in your life. For me, it is all of these things I have said here. And for body, I'm basically going to categorize it into body, finance, and appearance. Yes, body, appearance, finance. So body, in the sense, it actually means body. So by the end of this year, I want my body to be in a particular shape or form. Now, I'm not going to the gym right now, but what do I do to make sure my body is fit? For me, basically, it's just eating healthy. Probably while we're like halfway through the year, I would probably have like a gym membership and all of that. I want to hit the gym more. But for now, that is not a thought. That brings me to the point where I would say your goal should be time bound. So you could say from January to June, this is what I want to achieve. Then from June, obviously, if you have achieved all of the things you have set for yourself in January, you could move on from June and set other goals. It could be marital plans, it could be just general, it could be goals based on healing. Another thing that I would like to point out is that you could say I want to use January, February, March, April to heal from this that I'm going through, and that is totally fine. Your goal does not have to be monetary based. Your goal does not have to be hitting a particular milestone. Do this and do that. But sometimes we underplay the effect of healing from past traumas, from things that are affecting us. So that is just another thing that I would like to point out. That's just it for me for body. Another thing that I forgot to add in soul was how I said stuff about mindset, and for me my mindset is building a particular mindset which I desire, an elegant woman, listening to videos about that, learning about being a sophisticated lady, learning how to be poised, learning how to be a high value woman, learning, just disciplining myself, to be this kind of person that I want to be. That is for me. So, then the next aspect for body for me is appearance. Yes. And that appearance basically includes skincare, appearance itself, investing in good clothing, how I look, investing in makeup products. Now, in the long run, this is what I want to have. I want to build my wardrobe in this particular area of form. I want to build my wardrobe in this collection. I want that for me. That's what I see. for appearance. It's basically skincare, good clothing, like just good outfits, investing in good things, good hairs, investing in good skincare products, investing in good body soap, investing in how I smell, and then investing in my looks as an elegant lady. The last but not the least is finance. Okay, now this is also under body. Now finance, this is broad. I don't even know where to start from. This is so broad for me. Okay, now for finance, I basically highlighted them as YouTube, influencing, and the business job. Now I set this goal for myself that okay, this is what I want to do. I want to have 100 subscribers in a month. Okay, so now how do I do it? It basically means I have to have 50 subscribers in 2 weeks. It means in 1 week I should have 25 subscribers. Now how do I do it? Do I need to upload more for me to be seen in the faces of so many persons? Do I need to upload more? The content of the videos I should upload. And I basically ask myself, if I want to be so known that way, it means I have to, post consistently on my Instagram. I have to be seen in you guys' faces on Instagram, on TikTok, on my WhatsApp status, on YouTube Shorts. And now, how do I do this? I basically told myself that, okay, if I'm posting 3 videos in a week, it means those 3 videos should have 3 shorts. That's a total of 6 videos in a week. So that is basically 2 long contents and 3 short contents. Now this short content will go to YouTube, my WhatsApp status, my Instagram, also goes to my TikTok. Okay, so this just gives me kind of like a structure of my content. I'm like, okay, if I have this 6 content that I'm putting out every time in the week, how do I want to create these videos? So I basically have Sundays are for my scripting. After church, I sit down to script the 3 videos I want to post that week. On Monday, I sit my ass down to film those 3 videos. On Tuesdays, I sit down to edit them, okay? That way I'm building, like a structure. Under finance, I basically have influencing, and now all of this content I'm doing, I'm basically asking myself, okay, how is this content bringing me money? Aside the YouTube ad revenue, for now I'm not monetized, so how do I get money? Am I trying to put myself out brands to see me? Or just something, or am I trying to just encourage my viewers? So all of this content must answer those questions for me. Okay, so by the end of a particular time which I set for myself, I'm like, okay, YouTube is supposed to pay me, and by this time I should have pulled out content enough for brands to notice me and say, okay, we want to work with Betty there. Okay, that's basically it for me. While I script my videos on Sundays, film on Monday, edit on Tuesday, upload on Wednesday, upload and schedule all of my content on Wednesday. Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, I basically keep them for personal life and uploading stuff on LinkedIn or Upwork. I'm not so active yet, you guys, but yeah, that's my goal. So far, every other thing has been working. Okay, another thing that I forgot to add to my finance is also my personal business. This is basically divided into 2 areas. I am a freelancer, I'm a hairstylist, so I make hairs for people. So that is on the side. So when people come, I make sure that okay, I have the time to break for them. So that's like a side money I have from somewhere. I basically try my best to make sure these persons fall under the category of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because that is when I'm free. Or else, if they're coming Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, one of these my content pillars are going to suffer. I then have to ask myself, am I willing to adjust my settings for these persons? If I am, then it's cool. If I'm free, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can accommodate you can come, or you can start your hair by 12, and just as the case may be. Okay, so far that has been how I have been able to structure myself. Then for remote job, this is basically me just putting out content. I'm a social media manager, I'm an editor, and by the end of February, I would like to have had a remote job where I either manage social media pages for these persons, or I edit for them. So that aspect of remote job, I'm learning on it. I'm trying to invest more into remote jobs by leaving Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for rest, hair, and getting everything I need to know about remote jobs. Okay. with that being said, that is how I have planned my 2026. Okay, I hope you have planned yours, and I hope these tips I have given to you will be helpful. Now, feel free, okay, because most of the times when you can fall off, sometimes have some made bags. For me, I've been able to have hairs that I made that were not in my days of making hair. So that really just affected. So you have sometimes where you sleep off and you did not pray. You have sometimes where you sleep up and you did not reflect on God's word. Now you have sometimes where you wake up by 7 a.m. when you would have woken up by 4 or 5 a.m. to start your fellowship with God. I have had those times, but for the most of them, this has helped me to be more consistent. At least I would say I have been more consistent in the past 2 weeks, okay, since this year started. And I just thought to share these tips with you. I hope they help you. I hope they really, really help you in 2026. The year is still fresh, so do not beat yourself that, oh, I haven't done this, or you haven't started. If you even haven't started your goal setting for the year, it is absolutely fine. Take your time, okay? There's something about being sane before actually thinking of your next step. So if you're occupied, just clear your decks, which was what I did. I was so occupied at the beginning of the year that I had to clear my decks first, and I'm like, okay, so this is how I want to start. And so far, it has been amazing. So take your time, clear out all your spaces, what is affecting you, deal with it, and then you can get into business. Another thing is to make sure your goals are specific, they are realistic, they are time bound, and they are measurable. And what's the other thing? So just set smart goals, okay? Be specific. I'm not saying you go and say you want to make $1,000. Now you can see from my YouTube, I didn't even put like, okay, by the end of the year I want to make $2 million. I didn't put that, but just being intentional about YouTube, about influencing, would get me the money that I need to get there. Okay. Now, this is not me saying you want to get this amount of money is bad. Okay, I think I have that. I think I have that in my other aspect of business as investment. There's just a lot of areas that I didn't touch on. Now, I also have the investment aspect of my life where I'm like, okay, whatever money that comes, I invest it into a particular business. Now, I don't have the money to, start investing on land, investing in, so many like crazy stuff here and there. I'm also learning on investing in stocks and all of that. And I have money set aside for that, which I'm going to do. So by the end of the year, you kind of see like your business has grown. You've invested in it. For me, this is what I just basically do. Okay, so if you are strictly on business, it's fine. But for me, that I'm diversifying. I have YouTube, I have influencing, I have remote jobs. So at the end of the day, this whole thing should pay me a particular aspect of money which I want. Okay, but yeah, that's basically it. So if you find yourself that you are struggling, it is fine. It is fine to sometimes fall off and get back on your feet and all of that. The most important thing is that you are always you are intentional about your goals. Okay, now that is all I have for you guys in this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up, like this video, share to somebody who you think this video will be so helpful to, and comment if you haven't commented at this point. If you've watched me till this point, please comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I am going to see you guys in my next video. Until then, do not forget to stay blessed and stay fabulous. Bye.